How to prepare for Superman #1 on Palm Studios. Stay tuned. What's up, WAGME fam? This is Crypto Addict with a tip/trick video on preparing for tomorrow's drop. Before we get started, go ahead and click that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. And as we all know by now, DC Comics will be dropping Superman #1 on Palm NFT Studios. This is a highly sought after comic with the physical being an 8.0 grade, selling for a record $5.3 million. We now have the opportunity to get our hands on this comic as a digital collectible comic, and we want to have the best odds possible in doing so. So with only 3,000 editions to be minted, your odds are extremely slim. I mean, seeing as we have over 6K unique Bat Cow holders, we have new users coming in that are in the Harley Quinn drop of 30K, and we have new users that are just now coming into the platform trying to get this historical comic. So how can we increase our odds of actually getting this drop? Well, here are actually a few tips that I have for everyone trying to go for the drop. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and load up the website here. There we go. And if you look here, starting from tip number 1, this website, nft.dcuniverse.com, you want to come to the website early. The reason why you would like to be on the website early is because the website gets overloaded if there's a ton of users coming to the site, and you'll actually be placed in a queue. So to enter the website, you want to be there before the actual queue. If you participated in like the Harley drop, which was free, you may have been in queue for like an hour and they had to restart the entire drop about 2 hours later. You want to beat the queue because the queue can get extremely long, and 3K is not going to sit there for that long. So also from past experiences with the queue, once it is your turn, you should get like a pop-up confirmation that tells you to redirect to the website when you're ready. And that's only going to be up for maybe like a few minutes, so you want to pay attention when it's your turn to actually go into the queue. Once you're on the website, you can log in, you can try to purchase the comic. You do not need to preload funds or KYC to participate in purchasing the drop. You will have a set amount of time to do kind of whatever you need. I believe last time it was about 12 minutes to navigate the site, make your purchase, and anything else you need to do to get ready to make that purchase. But in general, just try to avoid that queue and be there and be ready early. Now, tip number 2, kind of piggybacking from that past tip, go ahead and preload your funds on the account. I know it's not required, but I would preload more than just the $10 to ensure that you can fulfill the actual purchase. No, you do not need to, but you do have like I said, a set amount of time to fulfill your purchase, and you want to be able to go through the process as quick as possible. You don't want to waste that time that you have, and you want to make sure you can purchase it before someone else, because if you have to input your credit card and actually wait for the funds to process, you risk missing out because it's a first come, and you only have a set amount of time before you actually get pushed back into queue. Tip number 3, KYC. Now I know you don't need a KYC to purchase, but to avoid any restrictions or potential issues during checkout, just KYC and make sure your account is in good standing. You don't want to be there data drop with a restricted account for whatever reason. Just be prepared for that. Next tip, go ahead and make sure you're connected to an Ethernet. You want the lowest possible ping because you need to be able to load the website quicker than everyone else. Wireless just naturally will give you a higher latency than just being directly connected to your router via Ethernet. Also, do not clear your browser's cache. This is actually the opposite of what you would do with Vivi. When you clear this, your browser will need to re-download all of the image and content again on your website. It'll need to re-download the logos, this background, these images. Everything here is going to have to get re-downloaded, and you don't want that to happen, because if you have to re-download all of these images, it's going to slow the loading of your page, and that's going to, like I said, it's going to make you get to where you actually want to go much longer. You actually want the website to load your cached content. That way, if there is only like a new image just for the comic on the home page, that's going to be the only thing that you load. Everything else, all of these images are already stored in your cache and will already be loaded, so your page will load much faster. Now this is going to lead me to my 6th tip, being navigate the website beforehand. This will make sure your browser does cache all of these images and you will be good to go and not need to download it again. So what I would do is I would come here, I would click around, go into the market, check collections. Like you saw there when I loaded that. The first time it had to load that. The second time I came in, it was an instant load because the images were already cached. So you want to make sure you load that ahead of time. Yeah, see, as you see now, all of these are loading instantaneously, which is what you want to do. So just navigate around just to make sure everything like this loads a lot quicker, as you can see now. Now my next tip is just being logged in. I'm not logged in here, but you want to be logged in before. I would even log in an hour before just to make sure I'm actually logged in. So you can enter a queue like without being logged in, and you can log in after, but it would be much more beneficial if you were logged in ahead of time, because like I said, we're trying to save time here. So if you're already logged in, all you need to do is go in, make the purchase, and check out, and you're good to go with the funds loaded and everything. But be aware that there is a chance that you do get logged off before the drop. Like you may still have to log in, but it's good practice just to log in ahead of time. Now some ideas on how to buy. There will likely be like a section on the home page, kind of like how there's sections here, but it may be like a section like this where you can actually purchase. We don't know, and that's a good thing that we actually don't like know exactly what they are planning on doing with this drop, because it's different every time. But likely they may have a section here, or they may just have a link in the navigation up here, which will redirect you to maybe a separate site to actually mint the item. It may be the same like this. It may just be a slider, and it'll give you something like this to click and navigate you to the actual site to mint, purchase, or buy, whatever the actual button may be. Just be aware that it can be a little different, and just be prepared to either click a link or purchase it directly from the homepage. And final tip, if you are able to do it, is to use your desktop first. And if you have a mobile device or multiple devices, you may want to load that on or get in queue on multiple devices. And like I said, you don't need to be logged in. So you can be logged in on like your desktop, and on your mobile device, you can just not be logged in, but be in queue. And if that happens to be in queue lower than where you're actually logged in, there's a chance that you can actually log into that on your mobile device and make the purchase ahead of time. So if you have multiple devices, I would take advantage of that, because that gives you the upper hand on being in the queue, or more chances of being lower in the queue by loading multiple devices. But that is my final tip for that. Now, I hope these tips actually help. I do like that they do not really give you or show you what to expect, because that will make the drop easier to get botted, and you don't want it to get botted. So the mystery is good, and I like that. But good luck everyone on this drop. 3,000 lucky people will succeed. If any of these tips were able to help you get this drop, please smash that like button for me. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. This was Crypto Addict, and we're all gonna make it. See you later, guys.